welcome back to my Wednesday video, which is a part of the series of 23 years of motivational speaking. Well, my career has taught me so many incredible lessons, some funny, some painful, some really encouraging, and I'm sharing that with you here in this series. I have one track focus, like that horse with blinders. I don't look left, I don't look right. I am only focused on my work, and that's the kind of discipline that I have maintained year after year, non-negotiable, not undone, for the past 23 years, not just before my motivational speaking, but before everything that I do. So it was about a decade ago-ish, I met this gentleman, okay? And he claimed to be the biggest motivational speaker ever. And the kind of fee that he was charging, I was appalled. I said, this is my aspiration. And then, as luck would have it, he was traveling to Pune for a big convention. There were about 2,000 people. And he said, Priya, why don't you come for my session? I said, oh my God, that's amazing. At least I will get to see firsthand what he is about. How does he talk? How does he carry himself? What is his content like? What is his presence like? I can learn so much. So I know that if this is where he is and if this is where I am and that's where I want to get, I can have a comparison on what do I need to improve upon and change. So, well, he was living in Bombay at that time, and he said, I will pick you up. And we had to drive to Pune. And I said, awesome. I get into the car with him. We have about a 3-hour drive to Pune. Now, if I had a workshop in Pune, you cannot talk to me. First of all, you're not welcome in my car. I will drive with you on the way back, but my team knows this. Even if we are going to the same destination for my speaking assignment, nobody sits in the car with me because I am preparing. You know, this is the most important time. Maybe I remember a story, maybe I remember an incident. Maybe I won't even say it in my workshop, but I'm ready with it. So anyways, so he says, come along with me. Now the whole journey, he's chit-chatting with me. I have never done that till date. I never do that. You will not even see me on the phone before my session. So then I told him, sir, if you would like to prepare, I can shut up. I have my music. I can listen to music. And he said, no, that's fine. And actually, he was the one chit-chatting with me, asking me questions and so on and so forth. Now we reach Pune, okay? And in just half an hour is a speaking assignment. And I'm like, oh my God, I arrive at the venue at least an hour in advance. Even sometimes the client tells me, Priya, your session is a surprise. We don't want anybody to see you. Can you just disappear? Then also I'm sitting backstage, and it's really uncomfortable backstage. It's dark and there's equipment and, you know, people sleeping, the workers sleeping around, but I will sit there. I cannot go back to my room 1 hour before the session. So this gentleman arrives half an hour before. So, and then he's chit-chatting with people. I said, oh my God, how does one achieve that kind of focus within chaos? That he's my hero. I mean, he's a Zen master, you know, to be able to have that kind of control, because I don't have it till date. So anyways, so we go there. Now he's called upon stage, and you know, there's a whole dais set, and then he would speak. So first of all, there's no place on the stage to move around, and I'm like, I would not have a stage like that. I would put it in my, you know, stage setup that please clear it for me, because I want it empty. I want to walk around. I want to invite people on stage. I want to walk down. I don't want it constricted. It was a very constricted stage. And I said, theek hai, let's see how he does it. Okay, then I'm observing that the lights are pretty dim. And I know he doesn't have a presentation, which means that when he stands up and talks, you know, he will be in darkness. And how do you relate to a speaker if you can't see him? Then I observe there is no water for him on the table. You know, sometimes your mouth gets dry, or what if you cough? Then people are looking helter-skelter for water. So I said, pani nahi hai. Then there's a whiteboard, but there are no marker pens. There's no duster. Now I'm sitting there. I've been speaking for so long, and these are things that are mandates for a speaker. So, and I was sitting on the front row. He'd given me the front row seating. So I got up and I went to the manager and I said, you know, when the speaker gets up, could you put on the lights, please? He says, okay. Then I took a glass of water and a bottle and I walked from the side of the stage and I put it on the table. And I even got some marker pens and an eraser and put it. And he's watching me, okay? Because see, I'm the kind of person, if I have seen something out, even if you're my competitor, you could just be anybody. I'm this this straightener. I'm this compulsive solver. I don't need an invitation or anybody's permission to help. I will help set it right and walk away, and sometimes right after that people make a mess out of it. Doesn't matter, but in my space, if you're in my space, I will solve things for you uninvited. So I straighten this thing out for him. Then I'm sitting there, and now it's about 2 minutes for him to talk. Okay, and then I get a text message. That time we didn't have WhatsApp. So I get an SMS from this gentleman. He's sitting on stage. He goes live in 2 minutes. There are about 2,000 people in the audience. And I get a message which says, by the way, did I tell you, you look really beautiful this evening? I mean, come on, you have a talk in 2 minutes. You're going to stand up and potentially, you've claimed to potentially change these people's lives, and you're flirting with me. This is the moment that you found in all of the moments that you have in this lifetime to send me a flirtatious message. I am sitting there looking at that message and saying, if this guy makes it, he is my hero, and I am the biggest fool on the planet to do all this hoopla. Don't talk to me, leave me alone, where's my coffee, and just get out of my space. I need to do this job right. Okay, so the gentleman gets up on stage. He starts to talk. It was fine, it was okay. And then 20 minutes into his session, the audience are eating him up alive. Have you ever seen a speaker like that, attacked by a pool of piranhas and spat out every little flesh and bone that he had? There was a heated argument to the point one gentleman stood up and said, do you even know what you're talking? It's not relevant to us. All these talks that you're saying don't apply in the corporate world, etc., etc., etc. And I'm just looking at him, and I'm looking at the audience. I'm looking at him, I'm looking at the audience. What is going on? Here is the thing. I will tell you, it is not about the content. It is not about that thing, that story, that topic that he had to share. It was about his connection with the audience, which went so missing. In the past 23 years, I've done thousands of firewalks. So firewalk is a constant, but what changes around it is the talk, the story, the connection. It's not the same for every corporate. It's not the same for every individual. And how do you get that sensibility to draw a parallel, to draw a connect, to draw a string from your heart to another person in a sincere attempt to change his life or to make a difference? I think it comes by a little bit of attention. And attention when? It's not attention in the moment. It's the attention that you have given prior. When somebody gives you an amazing birthday gift, you can tell that the guy has spent 2 months looking for it. You can tell the woman has spent time thinking, what does he like? What does she like? He wanted this, she wanted that. And then she went and bought it for you, or he bought it for you. It was not the gift presented in that moment. It was the preparation behind it that made that gesture special. The same thing is about your work. You're bringing your work as a gift in that moment, but what counts the most is what you did from the time of thinking about it to the time of delivery. And if that has attention solid enough, focused enough to make a difference, you are my hero. And this is a discipline that I follow, not just for my motivational speaking, but for everything that I do. Even if I have to come for a meeting with you half an hour prior, I am into that zone. I will arrive at the office space, at the coffee shop, or wherever it is, at least half an hour early. And I'm not on my phone or I'm checking my messages or emails. I'm thinking about the connection that I'm going to build with you. You can check my WhatsApp status. It says I will reply once in a day. I look at my messages once in a day. I am super focused, not just when I start the work, but before I start the work. My preparation begins then. There was one time I had a speaking assignment, and there was Amitabh Bachchan, who was the speaker before me. And while I was looking for my space, he was already there in that space. There are two occasions that I have met him. On one occasion, I had the chance to chat with him because both of us had already spoken, and we had the time to chat. And there was one time his talk was right before mine, and he was backstage, he was sitting, there was this little area for him with a sofa, there was his bodyguard standing, and he was going through his notes. Okay, now I stood there and I'm watching. I want to see what Amitabh Bachchan does before his talk. You know what? He prepares. And there was one time when while he was flipping the pages, and he moved his hand to pick up his cup of coffee, and he noticed me standing in the background. He just looked at me, smiled, and got back. And I have seen that people who really deliver legendary work, who really deliver outstanding work, it was not incidental. It was planned, it was prepared, and it was delivered per that. Yes, there are spontaneous moments, but those are not accidental. Those are built upon a very solid platform of preparation. And I have seen, like the gentleman that I accompanied, and by the way, let me tell you, he did charge multi-fold time than the fee that I was charging, but he was speaking twice a year. So फिर क्या फायदा हुआ? Yeah, I don't want to speak twice a year. I want to speak 200 times a year. And that is a discipline that has served me. It did not serve him. And by the way, on our way back, he said, oh, this audience was really bad. And did you see how these people were? And so on. Hey, don't criticize your audience. Look within and see, did you care enough? Because it shows. You can tell if I care, and I can tell if you care or not, even if I've never seen you, just by the comment that you wrote. And for people who put no time in preparation, well, life is not going to treat you back with the care, the concern, and the priority that you have denied life situations and people. I tell people, isn't today an important day? Why aren't you putting some thought in it? Why have you come to office unprepared? Where is your 2-hour preparation before you step into the office? Is today not important? Well, if you're going to treat today as an average day, then expect average results. How can you expect miracles when you yourself did not invest that kind of attention, that kind of priority, that kind of importance in what you do today? You will not have miracles in your life. You have to create them by your attention and the space that you allow it. And I always thank this guy whenever I think of the lessons that I have learned, because sometimes, as much as there are great people who teach us what to do, there are also great people who teach us what not to do. And I have learned well from both, and I am grateful for both. So I hope this helps. I'll come back with another story next Wednesday. Till then, know that I am rooting for you.